Good morning. All right. Welcome to Van Meter, and it's great to have everyone back as we start a new academic year, both here on our regional campuses, and I want to certainly welcome all of the faculty and staff and perhaps some students that are tuning in on our three regional campuses in Owensboro, Elizabethtown, and Glasgow. Welcome to our 2013 opening faculty and staff convocation. And how exciting is it to open a new academic year at a university with this kind of energy? And I hope you've observed the 2,300 students at our master plan program that have been fully engaged in this campus since last Sunday evening, and all the other student groups that are here getting ready to open the year, upperclassmen are moving in this weekend. It's a magic time on a university campus, and that's largely due to the energy and the skills that each of you bring to your respective jobs. So thank you in advance for everything you're doing to get this year off on the right foot. This is the one time each year when our faculty and staff can come together and allow us to acknowledge some of our successes of the past year and perhaps anticipate opportunities and strategies and concerns in the coming year. As we begin, I want to greet all of you by groups. First, I would like for those members of our Board of Regents who are with us this morning, let's welcome David Porter, our board chair, and Dr. Philip Bell, and Dr. Patty Mentor, and Kiana Boca, our student regent, sitting right down here. Y'all stand up. Well, all of our members of our administrative council, our vice presidents and equivalents, please stand up, sitting right here. Thank you. I also want to acknowledge the deans of our respective colleges. All of our deans, please stand. Welcome. Thank you. Now I would like to ask all of our new faculty and staff that are just beginning your WKU employment to please stand and let us welcome you to the WKU family. New faculty and staff. Next, will all members of our esteemed faculty, instructors, assistant professors, associate professors, and full professors, please rise. Our faculty. Thank you for what you do in your classrooms and your offices and all over this campus. Finally, if you're a member of our staff or an administrator at WKU, please stand and let us acknowledge and thank you for your service to WKU. Thank you all. While she does not fall into any of these categories, but yet works exceedingly hard for WKU day in, day out, I want to acknowledge and thank Julie for her efforts on behalf of WKU, not only for the Go on, stand up, Jewel. Not only for this past year, but for the last 16 years. She doesn't think too highly of that term, First Lady, because she certainly embraces our mutual theme that no one at WKU works for anyone else, but we all work for WKU and with each other. She devotes her time to students and to parents and ensures that our guests are well received and our events are well orchestrated. She leads our WKU Sisterhood effort, which has helped fund a number of worthy programs to advance scholarship and outreach at WKU. So Julie, our 5-year-old grandson calls her Jules. So Jules, thank you. You're the hardest working Ransdell I know. Thank you. Before we get started, I want to send up a cheer for Ogden College and the College of Health and Human Services, who played each other in a 5-inning softball game last week at the Hot Rod Stadium. It was great to see our faculty and staff in both colleges having fun competing on the softball, well, it was a baseball field, but they made softball work. The College of Health and Human Services won a hard-fought 4-3 victory in a well-played game by both colleges. Now, just know I'm giving you 1 year advance notice. So all the other colleges, you need to get ready, because next year we're going to call on the Preston Center to organize a tournament during opening week. So we're going to get all the colleges involved next year. So get ready, get in shape. We're ready to go next year. Yeah, some of you are a little worried about that one, aren't you? Last year, we had some incredible performances among our faculty and staff and students, and earned some outstanding national recognition. We also had to overcome some unexpected obstacles. As you knew, we came together with a recommended tuition increase of 5% and a balanced budget without any reductions, only to learn shortly thereafter that the Kentucky Council on Post-Secondary Education would vote to cap resident tuition at 3% for all Kentucky public universities. Therefore, in a matter of a few short weeks, we went back to the drawing board and had to cut some $2 million out of our budget in order to present a balanced budget to our Board of Regents in June. On a positive note, we were able to achieve this reduction without losing jobs, laying people off, or forcing unpaid furloughs, and although we were unable to achieve a salary increase for all of our WKU employees, over a quarter of our tenure-eligible faculty did receive a market equity salary adjustment. The other highly significant dynamic in our university profile last year was related to enrollment. We achieved a stable enrollment with a slight increase in total headcount, but a modest decrease in overall revenues. While we were able to maintain a balanced budget, we studied very closely the enrollment trends and projections as they relate to our enrollment profile. And we came to some conclusions which will adjust our enrollment goals going forward. I'm going to talk more about that in a few minutes. Among what I believe to be our significant achievements this past year was the hiring of 45 new faculty at a time when many universities across the country are in budgetary retrenchment with hiring freezes and limited options for strengthening faculty lines. We are committed to increasing the number of full-time tenure-track faculty who are highly credentialed, as our new faculty are this year, and to reducing our dependency on adjunct faculty. Our action plan. I encourage all of you to review our progress report on our Convocation website that goes up this morning, which outlines first-year progress in our 2012 to 2018 action plan. You may recall that this document was first released at this convocation at this time last year. It is our 6-year roadmap. For those of you who are relatively new to WKU, we follow a corporate-like strategic planning process which articulates our priorities and measures our progress. It is one of the ways in which we hold ourselves accountable, and we are accountable to the public. I think it is an important message in our progress report that even in a year with limited financial capacity, when tough decisions were necessary, we were able to make significant progress toward the 6-year measurables outlined in that plan. This past year, we also made considerable progress on 4 construction projects, including the opening of the Augustine Alumni Center, which was funded entirely by private gifts, and the renovation of the Downing Student Union, paid for in large measure by students. I encourage all of you to make your way into parts of that building that have just opened in the last few days, including the auditorium, the new fresh food company, Starbucks, Yoblens, and the new WKU store, which is now at street level along the Avenue of Champions. The balance of the building is walled off, and it is a major and a very complex construction project, but it will all be finished and open next summer. We will live 1 more year with the temporary Topper Cafe, which this year will accommodate some of our branded restaurants, including Chick-fil-A and Papa John's and Izzy's Mexican and the Grill Works. But those will return to the Student Union next summer. We just opened yesterday the new Medical Center WKU Health Science Complex. This building will house our School of Nursing, baccalaureate, master's, and doctoral programs, and our new Doctor of Physical Therapy program, which enrolled its first class of 30 students just this summer. This building is owned by the Medical Center and leased by WKU through tuition revenue from nursing students and DPT students, but mostly through tax incremental financing revenues from the state and the city. The TIF has provided classic examples of public-private partnerships to serve the public good, in this case, healthcare across our region. The final construction project currently underway is the new upper-class student and adult housing complex currently going up across Kentucky Street opposite the similar apartments which we completed last year. These two apartment-style residential complexes fill a void in our housing portfolio and especially for senior level and adult learners here at WKU, and the demand far outweighs the supply through our Office of Housing and Residence Life for this type of housing. Congratulations to our Student Life Foundation for providing a sound financial model to meet the housing demands for our students. Let's talk a moment about some year-end results last year. Some pertinent numbers from the year just ended include over $18 million in philanthropic giving for last year, of which $748,000 came from 679 faculty and staff donors. Thank you for that. Our total receipts from sponsored research and grants and contracts was just over $15 million, while that is down nearly $3.9 million from last year. And as a result, the indirect cost recovery, which supports our teaching and research infrastructure, is also down. I know this ever-changing funding environment places extensive demands on faculty, but I do encourage you to remain diligent with your sponsored research and grant activity. It is one way you can generate funds to support your own scholarship, and it strengthens the intellectual environment across our campus. It also provides an avenue to engage students in research and public service, which is an opportunity often not available for undergraduate students, and that's the hallmark of this institution. Last year, we awarded 100 FUSE grants for faculty and student research, and 300 students participated in Reach Week, an event dedicated to student involvement in research and scholarly activities, all with faculty mentors. Our niche at WKU is the opportunity you provide our undergraduate students to engage in research. Let's continue to make student engagement the cornerstone of our research focus at WKU. We will spend much of this year preparing for the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges review in 2014-15, leading to reaffirmation of accreditation from SACS in December of 2015. And this involves everyone, from our compliance report, which is being written by a variety of subcommittees, to the Quality Enhancement Plan, or the QEP, which will enhance students' ability to assimilate evidence from a variety of sources and construct compelling arguments. As I said, everyone will be involved, and I would like for members of the SACS leadership team and those who are involved with the various compliance report subcommittees to please stand and let us thank you for your ongoing efforts in this critical effort. Since you're involved in the SACS reaffirmation process, please stand and let us thank you. Perhaps the most positive and encouraging signs that we're doing many things right at WKU relate to areas that illustrate growing academic quality. Our successes have to start with the Gatton Academy. Established only 7 years ago, the Gatton Academy, for the second year in a row, was named the #1 high school in America by Newsweek magazine. Not that rankings always tell the whole story, but they are a measure that the public recognizes. And I was very proud to tell the students when they came to the President's Home for a cookout just a few days ago, the new students in the Gatton Academy, how proud we were that they are now enrolled in the nation's #1 high school. This is important for us and for the Commonwealth of Kentucky for a couple of reasons. For us, because you are the faculty and staff for the Gatton Academy. Gatton Academy students are in your classrooms. You provide the mentoring for their research, and you lead their study abroad experiences. The Gatton Academy's success is a reflection of the academic strength of this university. It is because of this academic environment that the Gatton Academy thrives. For the Commonwealth, it's important because these are Kentucky's highly gifted and talented high school juniors and seniors. Only 60 a year are selected to begin their junior year in the Gatton Academy. These 120 juniors and seniors are among Kentucky's best students, and the statistics are validating that most of them are now attending Kentucky's universities, with WKU leading the way to complete a baccalaureate or master's degree or both. And most are staying in Kentucky to go to work. In the final analysis, the reason the state invested $2.8 million recurring each year to the Gatton Academy 7 years ago is to create an environment where our best students stay in Kentucky to go to work, and we are making that happen. The Honors College, the Chinese Flagship Program, the strength of faculty in the life and physical sciences, and our undergraduate research opportunities continue to be the magnets that attract these outstanding students to WKU. So congratulations to all of you who teach and mentor these students and who embrace them in your classrooms and who continue to realize the vision for a still very young Gatton Academy of Math and Science in Kentucky. So well done to everybody involved with the Gatton Academy. Another dramatic success story at WKU is what is taking place in the name of internationalization. You know, that international reach thing, which is at the core of our vision to become a leading American university, but we cannot do those 4 words without those last 3 with international reach. And it's at the heart of our action plan. And this phenomenon has continued to grow over the last several years. This past year, we saw significant growth in both international enrollments and WKU students studying abroad, and I understand that just this week, we have a record number of international students who are enrolling at WKU this year, and we will have a record number of total international students who are here as returning students as well. Going into this year, we expect to have some 900 international students on our campus, including students in the Navitas program. This past year, we sent 1,592 students to study in 35 countries, which is a significant increase over the previous year. These numbers are encouraging. Our goal over the next few years is to enable 10% of our undergraduate enrollment, our undergraduate students, to study abroad, including most of the Honors College students. We'd like to get to 90% of our Honors College students studying abroad, while we double the number of international students studying at WKU, and I'm going to touch more on that in a moment. The most important reason for both of these goals is to ensure that all of our WKU students have the opportunity to gain firsthand experience or to at least study alongside students from another country, another culture, or another religion. The world stage has become too small and too interconnected for our students not to understand and grow confident in a global context. Whether it be economic, technological, business, social, very few jobs in the future will lack some international dynamic. And I want to be sure our students are prepared and confident for the inevitable, regardless of their discipline. These are among the reasons why we are sponsoring International Education Week, November 11 through 15, which is a joint initiative between the U.S. Department of State and the U.S. Department of Education, and to promote international education and exchange. This is a great opportunity, so let's focus the entire campus on international learning. A student told me last spring, I loved when I heard this, she read a story about one of the countries where she had studied, and that because of her experience, she could smell it, taste it, and see it in 3D. She said, having been there, she could relate to what she was reading, and she understood the critical dynamics of the situation in that country. And in the final analysis, isn't that the reason why students study abroad? And this is exactly why we want our students to study abroad. And while we're on quotes, George Bernard Shaw made an apropos observation when he said, "Reasonable humans adapt to the world. Unreasonable humans try to adapt the world to humanity." Well, we should ensure that our graduates are reasonable human beings who thoughtfully adapt to the world around us. In the future, we will have more 2+2 joint degree programs with international universities, and we're introducing the first few of those this year. We'll have more 1+1 or 1+2 graduate degree programs, and we're introducing our first one of those this year with the College of Education and Beijing Language and Culture University, and a 1+2 graduate program that leads to certification to teach in Kentucky. And we'll be working with more recruiting agents around the world. We've restructured our international enrollment management programs to ensure that we more aggressively recruit and retain international students. Our three largest international populations are Saudi Arabia, China, and India. And while those numbers are strong, we will also be seeking new markets through Asia, Europe, and South America. And in the spirit of taking our show on the road, so to speak, we've been exceedingly proud of the students and faculty in the WKU Symphony at WKU when they wowed 4 Chinese audiences last spring on the stage and with our brass quintet on the Great Wall. Clearly, the Honors College is a key dynamic in the pursuit of global learning. With more than 1,200 superior students and an average ACT of 30, the Honors College brings intellectual energy and strength to our classrooms and to our laboratories. It has made WKU the destination point for Kentucky's and some of the nation's best students. These students raise the intellectual level and standards for all undergraduates. They serve as leaders throughout our campus. They study abroad. They earn the nation's most prestigious scholarships, fellowships, and awards. They drive all of our undergraduate colleges to develop honors courses, and they help us recruit top faculty and staff to our campus. When we made the decision a few years ago to transition from an honors program to an honors college, we began the process to enhance our academic reputation and draw national attention to this university. Evidence of that growing academic reputation of WKU can be found on the Public University Honors, and that is a publication on the Public University Honors website. This website, for the first time, included WKU among its profiled public universities. And they were focusing on the growing strength of our Honors College. This summer, Public University Honors recognized 3 institutions which they considered to be excelling and rising. A couple of them you've heard about, the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, and the University of Virginia. The third one was WKU. To quote Public University Honors, the Honors College at WKU came to our attention while we were doing our regular review of the number of international prestigious scholarships won by public universities, such as Truman, Goldwater, and Fulbright Awards. We follow Goldwater Awards closely because they are awarded only to undergraduate students in the STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, disciplines. The undergraduate focus points to the level of research and faculty support that students receive in order to win the highly competitive Goldwater scholarships. And since 2008, I'm still quoting, since 2008, WKU students have earned 15 Goldwater scholarships and honorable mention. This would be a high level of achievement even for the top flagship universities in our nation. So how about that? This article goes on to talk about our Chinese flagship program, which is only one of 11 such programs in the nation, and how the Chinese flagship students have received in the last 3 years 2 Fulbright grants to China, 9 U.S. Department of State Critical Language Scholarships, 2 David L. Boren Scholarships, 3 Benjamin Gilman International Scholarships, and 3 Foundation for Global Scholars Awards. The fact that our students are performing at this level in ways that we could not have imagined just a few years ago is indeed testament to the growing academic profile of WKU. This past year, a record number of WKU students and recent graduates were recognized in prestigious national scholarship competitions. To date, 34 WKU students earned recognition in these highly prestigious national and international award competitions. These awards allowed our students to study in 12 countries, with the best students in American higher education. So my compliments to the staff in the Office of Scholar Development and to all of the faculty who serve as mentors and who write letters of recommendation for our students and help them prepare and compete. And when selected, allow them to optimize their international experiences. Other students who did some big things this past year include Kyle O'Daniel, who won a $35,000 grant, which was the top award from Idea State U, a Kentucky entrepreneurial competition. Kyle started Southern Kentucky Sock Company, a direct-to-consumer, all-natural sock company which made socks with computer-readable QR codes sewn into the fabric to allow online reorders in the exact size, color, and fabric. Everybody needs that. Kyle was also on our Enactus, formerly known as Students in Free Enterprise, team, which won their regional competition and went on to compete nationally. And how about our WKU Storm Chasers for documenting an EF tornado this past May? 8 students and 2 faculty members, Drs. Durkee and Dixon, traveled more than 7,000 miles across 10 states to apply various forecasting techniques with regard to severe weather. They documented up to 4 confirmed tornadoes, including an EF4 near Bennington, Kansas. And a shout out to our WKU academic quiz team. With all 4 students returning for an encore season this year, our academic quiz team finished 10th at the National Academic Quiz Team Intercollegiate Championship in Chicago in April. They were the highest finishing team among Kentucky universities and scored head-to-head victories over Cornell, Michigan, Ohio State, and Washington University, among others. And how about those toppers? Brian Chisholm, who will be a sophomore this fall, was elected state president of the Future Farmers of America at the Kentucky FFA Convention in June. Brent Austin, a cross-country and track student athlete, was awarded an NCAA postgraduate scholarship, which is a very competitive and highly prestigious national honor. And not to leave our alumni out, it starts next week. Tune in ABC on Tuesday nights this fall to watch Lucky 7, where 2002 WKU Theater graduate Matt Long will star in the feature role. And this is Matt's 3rd lead role in a national network series. And to our faculty, congratulations to Dr. Jin Zhang, who was selected as a 2013 National Academy of Education Postdoctoral Fellow. To Dr. Julia Roberts for receiving the National Association of Gifted Children's Distinguished Service Award and for leading the World Conference of Gifted Education just 2 weeks ago in Louisville. To Brett Borkman, who received the Archie Green Fellowship by the American Folklore Center at the Library of Congress. And to Aubrey Anton and Eric Kondratief and Beth Plummer in Potter College for earning highly competitive grants from the National Endowment for the Humanities. To Betsy Schoenfeld for receiving the 2013 Society for Industrial Organizational Psychology Distinguished Teaching Contributions Lifetime Achievement Award. To Jason Crandall for receiving the Distinguished Educator Award from the Kentucky Association of Gerontology. To Melanie Eaton of WKU Aging, who was advanced to a fellow in the American College of Health Administrators. To Lisa Draskovic Long, Assistant Professor of Dance, who is part of a team that placed 4th in the 2013 MoFilm Las Vegas contest. And to Margaret Peggy Gripsover, Associate Professor in Geography, who was appointed State Geographer by Governor Steve Beshear. To John Harden, Professor of History, who was reappointed to the Kentucky African American Heritage Commission by Governor Beshear. To Albert Meyer, Wiedemeyer, and Scott Grubbs in Biology, who received the Biological Diversity Protection Award from the State Nature Preserves Commission. To Jay Gabbard, Associate Professor of Social Work, who was named to the Phi Alpha Honor Society National Advisor, who was named the Phi Alpha Honor Society National Advisor of the Year. And to Monica Burke, Associate Professor of Counseling and Student Affairs, who received the Howard Davis Senior Award for Outstanding Service from the Southern Association for College Student Affairs. To Cheryl Beckley and David Brinkley of WKU's Public Broadcasting Service, WKYU PBS, who are recognized with 3 Ohio Valley Emmy Awards and student Neil Purcell, who received a Student Production Award. And congratulations also to Dr. Ching-Yi Lin for receiving the local and the national Jefferson Award, the latter of which was bestowed in Washington, D.C. in June. The Jefferson Award is for public service, and in this case, acknowledging Dr. Lin's service throughout our community for our pre-college strings program. And to multiple faculty in our College of Science and Engineering, particularly in the Department of Chemistry, for mentoring students who received research experiences for undergraduates, REU, support from the National Science Foundation, and in support of stipends for undergraduates engaged in the life and physical sciences. In our case, we had 8 papers published with REU students as co-authors, 29 regional and national conference presentations by REU students, and 9 local presentations. And what great graduate students and scientists these students will become. And I also want to salute our Gordon Ford College of Business and our accounting department, both earning reaccreditation from the AASCB, International Accrediting Association, this year. This is an outstanding accomplishment that only 178 institutions worldwide have achieved. And to close out our recognition, I love the fact that we recognize these students every year. But let's salute our School of Journalism and Broadcasting, students who once again finished in the top 5 among all schools of journalism and broadcasting programs in America, as recognized by the William Randolph Hearst Foundations. Our students had a first place finish in multimedia, 3rd place finish in photojournalism, and placed 5th overall in the annual ranking of schools of journalism and broadcasting. WKU has finished among the nation's top 8 journalism programs for 20 consecutive years while being ranked number 1 3 times. Congratulations to all of our, one more. Congratulations to our forensics program, which won the National Lincoln Douglas Debate Championships while finishing 2nd in the nation in both the American and National Forensics Association Championships. I lied, 2 more. And finally, to our civil engineering students who won regional competition in steel bridge building and robotics and competed nationally over the summer. And I apologize if any of you won similar recognitions if I failed to include you. Let's give a big hand to all of our students and faculty and staff. Great performances, and these are the kinds of things that validate that we are indeed achieving that 7-word vision statement. We are becoming a leading American university, and that vision is being achieved because of you and what you do on this campus and across this nation and globe on a day-to-day basis. So thank you. I want to shift our attention now to a conversation about funding, enrollment, budget, and the shifting strategies which will shape our behavior for the foreseeable future. State budget. We're all aware of the difficult financial challenges in recent years, and improving Kentucky economic profile, I am hopeful, will mean that we have reached an end to the state budget reductions for a while, although it remains to be seen whether an improving state economy will result in any increased funding for higher education. Our approach is to do all we can to support a reasonable higher education funding model, and I'm involved in that, the provost is involved in that, our vice president for finance and administration is involved in that. We're working hard to have a funding model that makes sense and that is reasonable for Kentucky higher education heading into the 2014 Kentucky General Assembly, which is expected to produce a budget for the 2014 to 2016 biennium. And if a higher education budget gets traction and enhanced state funding is forthcoming, whether in the form of a performance funding model or whatever model that may yet to be determined, that'll be done in the next month or so, we're confident that WKU will earn a reasonable share of that higher education budget. And in all the models that have been proposed, WKU's stake of a higher education budget ranges anywhere from 10 to 13% of whatever that budget model ends up being. But I'll share more with you as that information becomes crystallized and takes a definitive shape. We are performing well in most all of the anticipated performance measures. But with immense pressure on state funding for health care and pension reform, I just don't know what to expect with any new significant funding and whether it will be realized or not in the next couple of years. And this is coming from the eternal optimist. Therefore, we have to assume, as we have in recent years, that we must control our own destiny as an institution and structure our own financial models to best meet our needs. In this regard, I want to describe for you some dynamics that will define us going forward, particularly relating to our enrollment profile in the future. First, a bit of history. Between 1998 and 2008, we grew enrollment by over 40%, some 5,000 students. That growth produced substantial revenue, which we invested in academic quality and campus infrastructure. But since 2008, we have had to absorb some $15 million in state funding reductions. Growth served us well as a revenue strategy and helped us weather the storm of budget reductions. It also created a revenue profile that is now far more dependent upon tuition than any other revenue source in our budget. State funding is now less than 18% of our budget. After decades of growth, college enrollment nationally dropped 2.3% this spring compared to the spring of 2012. According to a report released by the National Student Clearinghouse Research Center, the decline is poised to continue. The number of U.S. high school graduates peaked at 3.4 million in 2010-11 and is projected to fall to 3.2 million by 2013-14. According to the Western Interstate Commission for Higher Education, Kentucky is projected to have a 6.1% decline in the number of high school graduates by 2020. An era of aggressive tuition increases and enrollment growth strategies that carried us from 1998 to 2008 cannot serve us well going forward. We have penetrated well the Kentucky marketplace, and we will sustain the level of Kentucky enrollments at WKU, but the paradigm has shifted. The numbers in Kentucky just are not there in the future to support an aggressive growth curve going forward. Over the last couple of years, we have implemented numerous models to enhance college preparedness among regional high school students. We have strengthened our own retention programs and redesigned our general education curriculum into a splendid colonnade plan, which ensures that our core curriculum teaches students to think critically, solve problems, and communicate effectively. We've also strengthened our admissions policies to focus on better prepared students who are more likely to persist and graduate. We are seeing the first signs of success and indeed validation that these strategies are beginning to pay off. As a result, our new admission standards allowed us this year to accept some 500 fewer students this year than last year. The average ACT score for this incoming class of students is up 1/3 of a point over last year, which puts this class in the upper 40th percentile of all students taking the ACT. The average GPA for this year's freshman class is also up from 3.14 last year to 3.19 this year. The overall quality measures show we are improving. But if we accept fewer students by choice in order to raise our standards and our student success rates, while at the same time the total number of Kentucky high school graduates begins to decline, we must adjust our strategies to ensure a stable financial profile. And there are two ways to do that. We can recruit more international and domestic out-of-state students to meet or exceed our new higher admission standards, or we can retain and graduate more of the students we accept, and we need to do both of those things. Rather than targeting an enrollment of 22 or 23,000 students, as was our goal for the last couple of years, we're now focusing our attention on a student population closer to 20,000, but with an enhanced revenue outlook because of better retention and a larger number of students paying out-of-state rates. This strategy will allow us to achieve an even better student-to-faculty ratio, particularly as we have every intention of increasing our numbers of full-time faculty in the future. Student success, however, will be the key. and we all play a role in ensuring that our students, no matter where they are from, succeed. So to be somewhat repetitive, well, competitive too, but repetitive, we will focus on admission of full-time, college-ready Kentucky students, add value by increasing our non-resident and international enrollments, which is also key to achieving our vision of international reach. And by doing these things, we will maintain financial stability and increase the overall quality of our student body. To be clear, however, we will continue to strengthen our recruiting efforts in our Kentucky high schools and with our KCTCS partners. And we have 8 joint admissions agreements with community colleges surround us, and one of those is at Volunteer State in Tennessee. We must sustain the thousands of Kentucky high school graduates and transfer students who will always comprise the preponderance of our student body. Our regional campuses will be an increasingly important point of access for many WKU students, and the things I just described with higher admission standards are focused on our main campus here in Bowling Green. It's a different dynamic on our regional campuses. It's critical to ensure that all students coming to WKU are well prepared and have the best opportunity for success, whether they're coming to us as first-time freshmen or as transfer students with an associate's degree, or as adult learners who need a certification or just want to finish a degree that they may have started years ago. Just as we must stabilize the revenue side of the budget, we must also be cognizant of the expense side. So let me shift for a moment to employee benefits. We have managed to maintain a stable health insurance program that still costs each WKU employee nothing for an individual insurance premium, while spouse and family plans do entail an employee-paid premium, or the high-level plans for individuals. We are, however, going to have to address changing variables in the coming year, which will likely impact the premiums that the university pays and that our employees pay. We've tried to shield our employees from premium increases in recent years, and we've been able to do that, but it is inevitable that that will change. And like all businesses, we will also have to manage the cost of the Affordable Care Act. The Human Resources staff and the Benefits Committee are working together on recommendations for ensuring a stable and competitive benefits package. As we approach the fall open enrollment period, we will plan a series of open forums to discuss the details and outline changes that are likely to take place over the next year or two. And as a self-funded insurance program, you must always remember that we are the insurance company. There's not an insurance company out there that we have a third-party administrator, but they're just that. We are the insurance company. And we all need to remain diligent in our efforts to manage health care costs by participating in our campus wellness programs, by being conscious of healthy lifestyles and daily habits, and yes, I will say it, let's refrain from smoking, eat well, and exercise. Thank you. Shifting again. And I don't usually get into athletic things at these convocations, but this one's a little bit different. Another rather significant event in the life of our university that will unfold in the coming year is the change in athletic conferences. This will be our last year of participation in the Sun Belt Conference, where we have been a member for the last 32 years and have won far more championships than any other member of that conference, just as we did in the Ohio Valley Conference for the 30 years that preceded that. We don't take conference affiliation or changes in affiliation lightly. We have generated more NCAA revenue and produced more television coverage for the Sun Belt than all other members combined. Most importantly, our student athletes have led the way in academic performance, once again earning the 2013 Sun Belt Conference Graduation Rate Award. The average cumulative GPA for all 379 student athletes is 3.05, and 47 student athletes earned a perfect 4.0 last spring. Since 2008, 85% of our student athletes who have fulfilled their eligibility have graduated. We've enjoyed 3 decades of Sunbelt competition and have been proud of the value that we have brought to that conference. As a member, however, of Conference USA, we will enjoy enhanced television coverage, bowl opportunities, and revenue. We'll have closer geographic proximity to member institutions and better fan destinations. In Conference USA, we will reduce the travel required for our student athletes and the time spent away from campus. We'll also improve our chances for postseason competition for our 19 men and women's athletic teams, and we fully expect to quickly rise to the top of Conference USA in academic performance for our student athletes, just as we have led the Sun Belt in all academic measures. One thing we will not do, however, as we depart the Sun Belt is be guilty of poor sportsmanship. We will compete well and hard and salute our Sun Belt Conference colleagues as we make our last trip through the conference this year. We'll begin a gradual gearing up next spring with anticipation of a July 1 start date for Conference USA competition. The additional revenue generated by this new conference membership will help the athletic program continue to achieve a balanced budget while paying the inevitable cost increases associated with being nationally competitive across our athletic program. While we're talking about talent, let's talk about talent of a different kind. What employers want and what our students need. Students, parents, policymakers, businesses, and the news media talk often these days about higher education, the cost of it, the student debt, graduation rates, employment. They want to know if we are properly preparing our graduates for the workplace. Are we responsive to the needs of business and industry? Are we developing the talent that employers need now and in the future? Many states have moved to an outcomes-based funding strategy. We talked about that rewards graduation rates and other key measures of performance, such as retention. And we are certainly having that discussion in Kentucky, both in the legislature and among university presidents and the Council on Post-Secondary Education. And we've moved away from funding requests that are largely driven by enrollment numbers and toward a more performance-based, incentive-driven funding model. And we're good with that line of thought. We're performing well, as I said, in these measures. But unfortunately, a performance funding model only works if the state has the money to devote to it. And we'll see how that plays out in the next few months. But our ultimate and most important responsibility is to our students. And that's where we must remain focused. We must ensure high value for the price that they pay to be here. Our student success has to be our goal because it's the right thing, it's the best thing we can do, both for our students and for the communities we serve. 2 recent articles, one by the Association of American Colleges and Universities and one in the Chronicle of Higher Education, suggest that what employers really want are students with a demonstrated capacity to think critically, communicate clearly, and solve complex problems. These articles also noted that more than 9 out of 10 employers said that it is important that job candidates demonstrate ethical judgment and integrity. And in that, what the Spirit makes the master is all about. They want students who have strong intercultural skills, international reach, and possess both the capacity and the desire for continued new learning. That's where we fuel that fire, and in some cases spark a fire in the hearts and minds of our students. Employers are telling us they want our students to understand real-world settings. They want students who can adapt to rapidly changing demands. These studies also told us that college graduates were most lacking in written and oral communication skills and the ability to manage multiple priorities. They're looking for the critical soft skills. Last spring, I sat down with CEOs from the largest employers across our region and asked them what they want in our graduates. And they echoed these same sentiments. They want confidence, leadership skills, communication skills, strong work ethic, strong ethical values, and the drive to succeed. To the person, they said they could teach them the other skills that are needed to perform specific jobs. For the most part, good grades and a strong extracurricular resume can suggest these kinds of skills. But a student has to be able to sell himself or herself based on experiences both in and beyond the classroom. My point is this: our Colonnade Plan general education curriculum is right on target. We need to teach our students to reason and communicate well across the curriculum. We need to encourage second language study as early as possible, which is why our Confucius Institute has 33 teachers teaching Chinese language in elementary and middle grades and high schools across our region. Our international strategies for cultural immersion are important to employers and to our nation's competitiveness and security. Technical skills are vital, particularly for students in the life and physical sciences, as are qualities such as inquisitiveness, critical thinking, and the ability to work with a broad range of people. These are important skills that are developed through rigorous engagement with the social sciences and the humanities. To me, when I hear the spirit makes the master, I think of these soft skills employers are telling us that they seek: confidence, drive, energy, self-esteem. These personal traits in our graduates do not just happen by chance. It has to be built into the culture and the fabric of this institution. It defines our personality as a university. So let's nurture those things that make WKU and our students distinctive in the marketplace. When combined with a strong grounding in one's discipline, they are what set our graduates apart in the workplace and not only help make them employable, but successful once they have entered the workplace. What we do here matters. Higher education has great value, and it goes way beyond just getting a job. I hear this message often, and I fear this message is lost in this economic climate, particularly as we spend so much of our time and energy and revenue on budget issues. Let the real reason why we're here not be lost on what we do with our students day in and day out. And let's bring these values, let's bring that spirit to them that will allow them to succeed and sets us apart as a university community. Our objective to graduate the students we accept is critical. Our six-year graduation rate is still barely over 50%. Now, it's rising. Higher education, however, has changed. Our financial model is dependent upon strong student retention. We must be completely dedicated to ensuring that as we raise our admission standards, if we accept a student, we've got a responsibility to help that student persist and graduate, help them finish. We are a four-year college. Therefore, we should do everything in our power to help students to understand the simple math. 15 hours a semester for 8 semesters, 120 hours to graduate. Far too many of them are not completing those simple numbers. If history is an indicator, less than 75% of our new first-time, full-time students who begin classes on Monday and who are here on this campus this week will continue on to their sophomore year, less than 75%. If we can just raise that number to 78%, that means several hundred more students will persist deeper into the WKU experience and are more likely to finish. There are vast differences in employment, earnings, and quality of life between students with no college, some college, or those who completed college degrees. So for their sake alone, let's push them to perform and graduate. And for our sake as well. Strong student persistence is the key to our own financial stability. One key initiative which is beginning to have an impact on our retention measures is called MapWorks. Many of you know about this. MAP meaning making achievement possible. MapWorks is a survey that collects information on students' academic, social, and personal adjustment to college. If all of our students participate in this survey, then we could use the results to customize particular student success strategies and directly link them to important student services and staff across campus. What we learn from these surveys helps us develop immediate intervention strategies that aid students not only in their transition to WKU, but in how they address academic difficulties, homesickness, and a host of other concerns. And I particularly call on our faculty to remind students to complete the MapWorks survey. It will arrive in your Topper email accounts, or in their Topper email accounts on Monday, September 9. The data collected from this survey is only as powerful as the volume of students who participate. And it's proven to be helpful. And it's one way we can achieve that 78% retention rate this year. So your help will be genuinely appreciated. As we begin the school year with a new class of talent just embarking on their higher education journey, let's inspire and let's be inspired by them. They are high-achieving students for the most part from across our Commonwealth, our nation, and across the globe. They have the highest average ACT of any previous WKU class, and they are culturally diverse. They are better prepared for college than students that preceded them, and they're receiving more scholarships than in past years. We are investing in them, including a record number of minority scholarships awarded. This will be an important year for us. We have to assume that our best opportunity for resources exists within our own enrollment statistics. So let us continue to accept the highest quality students possible, redirect underprepared students to our joint programs with KCTCS, retain and graduate our students, and grow our numbers of out-of-state and international populations, all of which help us achieve our quality and our financial objectives. We, those of you in this building and others across this campus, we are 2,300 full-time employees strong and another 1,000 part-time employees. Working together, we can achieve our vision and strengthen the degrees that we award, that our students earn. But you are the key to doing this. We are all in higher education because we value the opportunity to teach, to study, to mentor, to inspire, and to enrich the lives of others. Our responsibility is to create a campus environment where students can develop their talents and achieve their full potential. That's our challenge. Help them achieve their full potential. So I want to close this morning with a photo of a new sculpture just installed on our campus last week. Why that? Well, it's called To the Point. That's the name of that sculpture. It was sculptured by local artist Donnie Firkins, and we rescued it a couple of years ago from a site downtown where it was rusting and deteriorating. And through a chain of events involving U.S. Bank and the Crocker Law Firm, we received it as a gift. A rusty gift, but it was a gift. But Brent Oglesby and his colleagues in the art department went to work on it. This is important for several reasons. It speaks to our values to preserve community landmarks, both in our campus and in the broader community, on our campus and in the broader community. It speaks to the importance of art on our campus and in our lives. Look around you. And the setting we chose for this sculpture, more than any location on our campus, speaks to our campus values for nature and for history. Surrounded by trees and in the shadow of the Felts cabin. To the Point symbolizes our spirit and a very special quality of life that we enjoy here and that we must continue to nurture here. So find this new piece of art and enjoy it, just as we want every student. One of the things we passed out this week at Master Plan was the Sculpture Walk brochure that highlights the some 22 outdoor sculptures across our campus. Things that make us unique and define us. And just as we want every student to enjoy our shared campus home, our quality of campus life is unparalleled. It defines, in large measure, our institutional personality. So let's get to the point and let's have a great year. Thank you. One of the things we do at our convocation each year is we recognize a number of individuals among us who are receiving special awards. And I want to call Provost Gordon Inslee to the podium now to recognize our faculty awards that have been bestowed in recent months. Provost Inslee.
Thank you, President Ransdell. Last year, many of you may have attended a reception where we recognized college faculty award winners in the 4 categories of teaching, research creative activity, public service, and student advising. Today, we recognize the university-wide award winners in each of these categories. I invite these winners to come to the stage after the respective introductions to receive an engraved silver bowl and a check, well, actually a promissory note for a supplementary payment in the next payroll distribution from President Ransdell. Sorry, Andy. The recipient of the University Teaching Award for 2013 is Dr. Andrew Wolf of the Department of Geography and Geology. Andy. In addition to his exemplary work in the classroom, Dr. Wolf has served as an advisor for over 35 student research projects. These students have received grant funding and they have presented at scientific conferences worldwide. In addition, Dr. Wolf is active in contributing to the earth science curricula in the local school district. According to him, teaching geology is more than delivering information, but guiding and transiting students into scientists. One student noted, he is one of the most devoted, knowledgeable, and amicable professors I've ever had. Congratulations. The Research and Creativity Award goes to Ms. Lindsay Osterritter of the Department of Art. Lindsay's research in functional wood-fired ceramics and clay bodies has led to extensive publications and presentations and exhibits in China, Australia, Austria, Croatia, and throughout the United States. And it has been published twice in The Logbook, an international publication for wood-fire ceramic artists. Lindsay is well respected both internationally and nationally, and her professional success reflects her genuine personality, her involvement, and her contributions to the field, and last but not least, her long-term commitment to being an artist and an educator. One colleague noted, Lindsay is well respected both internationally and nationally. Her professional success reflects her genuine, likable personality, her involvements and contributions to the field, and her obvious commitment to be an artist and educator. Lindsay. The recipient of the Public Service Award for 2013 is Dr. Nancy Rice of the Department of Biology. Dr. Rice has brought considerable recognition to the university through the development of the WKU Partners in Caring Medicine in Kenya program, which allows pre-professional students to work with U.S. physicians in an international medical context. In addition, she has served in the University Senate as Ogden College at-large representative and has served as director or co-director of the WKU Biotechnology Center. One student noted, I can think of no other person who has contributed to the international reputation of WKU more than Dr. Nancy Rice. She exemplifies leadership, humanity, selflessness, and a dedication to the service of others. Congratulations. The Student Advisement Award for 2013 goes to Dr. Fred Gibson of the Department of Kinesiology, Recreation, and Sport. Dr. Gibson serves as the graduate coordinator for the Recreation and Sport Administration program, where he is the primary point of contact and advisor for over 230 students. Dr. Gibson constantly communicates with his advisees on topics such as employment and volunteer opportunities, study away and abroad courses, and networking. A former student commented that Dr. Gibson is, quote, an amazing mentor, advisor, and an even better friend. Because of his wisdom, support, and love, I never gave up on my dream. Fred. And congratulations to all of our University Award winners. It is now my great honor to introduce WKU's two newest University Distinguished Professors. I invite them to come to the stage to receive their UDP medallions from President Ransdell. Dr. Cam C., or Johnny Chan, is the Leon Page Endowed Professor in Finance. Dean Jeff Katz characterizes Dr. Chan as a role model for our students and our faculty. One of Dr. Chan's references cites him as a dedicated and caring teacher who's actively engaged in pedagogical research to enhance student learning experiences. He also notes that Dr. Chan incredibly effectively mentors students seeking to pursue graduate study or to pursue CFA designation, to the extent of even personally awarding more than 40 scholarships to these students to offset the cost of review materials. Dr. Joanne Lee of the Rice-Soin College of Business at Wright State University states that Dr. Chan is, quote, one of the gems among academic professors, an individual who ensures that students keep pursuing their dreams. Dr. Chan is a prolific researcher, having published over 130 papers in the refereed literature since 1990, with over 90 since joining WKU. These publications have received over 1,500 citations, one article with nearly 250 citations alone, bringing what Dean Katz describes as worldwide recognition of excellence in his discipline. According to a published article by Heck and Cooley, Dr. Chan occupies 140th place on the list of the most prolific authors in the field, a field of over 17,000 individuals. Dr. Chan is associate editor of a leading journal and has received the Gordon Ford College of Business Research Award no fewer than 3 times. Dr. Ray Agarwal of the College of Business Administration at the University of Akron characterizes Dr. Chan as having an outstanding reputation as an active research scholar. Dr. Chan's service to the Gordon Ford College of Business and to WKU was recognized in 2008 with the Vitale Award for Initiative, Innovation, and Leadership. He has served as director of the Midwest Finance Association and as an editorial board member for no less than 8 journals. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Johnny Chan. I now invite Dr. Klaus Ernst to join us on the stage. Klaus. Dr. Ernst is a professor in the Department of Mathematics. He earned his PhD in mathematics from Florida State University in 1988 and joined WKU that same year. In her letter of support of Dr. Ernst's candidacy for this distinction, Dean Cheryl Stevens noted that there are very few faculty in Ogden that achieve at such a high level in teaching, scholarship, and service. And in my recommendation to the President, I added that I believe this statement is also true in the broader context of the university as a whole. Department Head Bruce Kessler notes that Dr. Ernst's classes are both demanding and enjoyable, and that he has been involved in several student research projects, including the supervision of numerous graduate theses. Klaus also teaches the challenging computational problem-solving course to, I'm sure, an equally challenging group of Gatton Academy students each year. Dr. Ernst's research is in the area of geometric topography and knot theory, which, aside from his intrinsic value to pure mathematics, also has applications in areas of chemistry, molecular biology, and medical science. Dr. Ernst has a sustained record of research, having published some 50 research papers cited by over 100 other authors, and he continues to publish 4 to 6 papers per year in recent years. In Dr. Kessler's words, Dr. Ernst's research has been amazing and impactful. Dr. Kenneth Millett of UC Santa Barbara, an editor of a leading journal in the field, notes that the hallmark work by Dr. Ernst and co-author DeWitt Summers, quote, continues to inform contemporary research almost a quarter of a century after its initial publication, and he refers to Dr. Ernst's international visibility in the field. Dr. Ernst's service to his profession also includes acting as a regular reviewer for leading journals. Dr. Ernst has served as director of the Mathematics Graduate Program, as vice chair of the University Senate, on the Graduate Council, and on the Benefits Committee. He has also recently served on the recent Ad Hoc Governance Committee, where I have found him to be insightful and to represent not only his own point of view, but those of the many constituents he represents. Please join me in congratulating University Distinguished Professor Klaus Ernst. The podium is yours, sir.
Thank you, Gordon. The next award that we give each year at our opening convocation is a very special award in the life of this university. It's the Spirit of Western Award, and this award goes to an individual nominated by the faculty and staff and selected by the previous 3 award recipients. And this award recognizes individuals in the WKU campus family who embody the WKU spirit in their daily work, and I think we actually pulled this off as a bit of a surprise. This year's recipient is Mr. Jeff Younglove, who's working in the booth. Just hang out for a second there, Jeff. Jeff embodies the WKU spirit. For nearly 30 years, he's been at the heart of WKU's outreach activities. As the director of special events, Jeff is the one that works with people and groups who come to campus expecting good service and a quality event. From camps to building dedications to community events, it is Jeff who makes sure that the details are covered, that everything is set, and that the sound, light, and marketing are all in order. His attitude of, let's find a way to make that work, is contagious. Jeff also teaches in our communications program and broadcasts many of our athletic and media events. And you also hear him flawlessly announcing names in our commencement ceremonies. His staff in campus and community events is thorough, customer-oriented, and serve as a role model for our Spirit Masters as they define what being a campus ambassador should be. Long hours on weekends and holidays are the norm for Jeff and his team. He lives our motto, the Spirit makes the master, the 2013 Spirit of Western Award winner, Jeff Younglove. We also give awards in sustainability and for diversity efforts. I'll start with sustainability. We have a faculty and staff award winner and a student recipient. The faculty and staff award winner this year is Dr. Jennifer Tugas. Come on up, Jennifer. Jennifer earned her PhD in ecology from the University of Georgia and serves as our Director of Parking and Transportation Services, a member of the Mid-South Transportation and Parking Association and the International Parking Institute. She is active across our campus and our community and not only plans, implements, and orchestrates our parking and transportation programs, which is often a thankless job, but is an advocate for a bicycle-friendly community and is a vendor at our community farmers market. Jennifer developed our Parking and Transportation Department and is the only director we have known and has the inevitable task of making sure that we have sufficient spaces for our vehicles and that people are able to get from place to place smoothly and efficiently. She has implemented a car sharing program, and she has reduced our parking demand. She keeps our fleet of buses moving efficiently and in an environmentally friendly manner. She has helped design and create environmentally friendly parking lots, reduced stormwater runoff, and increased our campus green space. She is a member of our University Sustainability Committee and helps coordinate our annual Earth Day Festival. She helps pursue sustainability grants and works with a grant writing committee to develop solar and biofuel programs. She leads by example while serving as president of Bicycle Bowling Green, a not-for-profit bicycle advocacy group, as was appointed in 2012 to the Bowling Green-Warren County Greenways Commission. She is committed to sustainability, rides her bike to work, and adopts other sustainable habits in both her personal and professional life. Our Director of Parking and Transportation, Jennifer Tugas. The student winner of the President's Award for Sustainability is Miss Angela Briggs. Come up, Angela. Angela is entering her junior year at WKU Glasgow. She is a full-time non-traditional student at WKU-G and is majoring in sociology and minoring in psychology. She's an advocate for sustainable living and plans to work in community development upon completing her baccalaureate degree. When not tending to her family obligations, Angela is excelling academically and is a student leader at WKU-G and is a founding member of the WKU Glasgow Green Toppers. Through the Green Toppers, she has advanced sustainability both in Glasgow and in Bowling Green. She is at the core of organizing, advertising, planning, and recruiting for the WKU Glasgow Green Toppers. She helped organize the Buy Our Own, Boo. It is an event on the WKU Glasgow campus to promote local produce during the Halloween season, the harvest season. She brought local pumpkin growers together and helped educate the public on sustainability and local food economies. She also created Awaken the Dreamer. She coordinated the event and provided much of the food for the event from her own home and from local producers. She's also responsible for helping the Green Toppers sponsor the Barron County High School Earth Day event and the Tour de Farm, which was a celebration of the opening of the Bounty of Barron's Farmers Market. It consisted of a bike tour through Glasgow and a farm-to-table dinner. She helped create the Rain Barrel Workshop, helping educate people across Glasgow on the importance of creating a rain barrel and using it for water conservation. Angela leads by example. Her enthusiasm and her priorities are an example for us all. Congratulations, Angela Briggs. We have 3 President's Award for Diversity: Community, Faculty and Staff, and Student. We'll start with our Community Award winner, Miss Shauna Banks. Shauna, come on up. There we go. As Director of Education for the Housing Authority of Bowling Green, Ms. Shauna Banks focuses on the educational enrichment and the development of youth from 9 nationalities. Additionally, she also devotes her time to coaching youth league sports, empowering minority youth, educating young adults, and making positive choices and encouraging community partners to contribute to our youth's futures. Possessing a belief that a community is as strong as its members and that to whom much is given, much is required, Ms. Banks has faithfully volunteered her time to her community with service to the Bowling Green-Warren County Public Library Board of Directors, Girls Inc. Board of Directors, the Martin Luther King Jr. Holiday Planning Committee, and the Educational Advisory Council for SkyPack. Recently, after being informed that many of our young black men in the community were facing challenges in their schoolwork, Ms. Banks reached out to community leaders, and the Why Try mentoring program was created with a mission of bringing together resources that promote accountability with young black men, their families, the educational systems, and the community. To date, the program has reached over 100 young men. Furthermore, in 2012 and 2013, she worked directly with WKU's Confucius Institute to make it possible for 12 minority high school students to travel abroad and to participate in the Chinese Summer Bridge Camp. Through her commitment to make a difference in the lives of others and support diversity initiatives in our community, Ms. Shauna Banks is the embodiment of a community servant and a person richly deserving of this important award. Congratulations, Shauna. Our WKU Employee Award, President's Award for Diversity, is Dr. Monica G. Burke, Assistant Professor, Counseling and Student Affairs, and Assistant to the Chief Diversity Officer. Monica, come on up. Dr. Burke has served WKU in several important capacities related to diversity since 1998. From 1998 to 2002, she served as Assistant Director in the Office of Diversity Programs. In this role, she served as an advisor for African American organizations, provided academic support and advisement to minority students, assisted in the recruitment of African American students, developed enrichment programs, and produced publications from 2001 to 2003. Dr. Burke also served as a regional site coordinator for WKU's NAACP/NASA STEM Scholars Academy, during which she was instrumental in organizing joint activities and programs between NASA and the NAACP, integrating science, math, and technology. Between 2006 and 2008, Dr. Burke assumed the position of interim director, then associate director for the Office of Diversity Programs. In those programs, she planned cultural, education, and enrichment events, conducted diversity training seminars on campus, published in the Black Pages Resource Guide for new and current African American students, faculty, and staff, assisted undergraduate minority students in the preparation for graduate studies, and gave presentations to student groups and parents on strategies for retention and academic success. Finally, in 2008, while continuing in her faculty role as an assistant professor, Dr. Burke was appointed Assistant to the Chief Diversity Officer. Her contributions involving the integration of initiatives to promote multiple dimensions of diversity, assistance in the establishment of the WKU Diversity Plan, and in the recruitment of minority faculty and staff reflect her long-standing and dedicated commitment to diversity across our campus. Congratulations, Monica. Finally, our Student Award recipient for the President's Award for Diversity, Miss Brittany Prather. Come on up, Brittany. Ms. Brittany Prather is a May 2013 WKU graduate who is currently pursuing graduate studies in Facility and Event Management at WKU. As an undergraduate student majoring in strategic marketing, she was a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, a member of the Black Student Alliance, co-chair of the Master Plan Advisory Board, and a panelist in multiple times in our ATP Academic Transitions Program sessions. This summer, Brittany's talents were featured in several filming projects on campus, WBKL's View from the Hill, and the upcoming WKU UK football game halftime video. According to two professional staff members, Brittany is the perfect example of a young student of diversity describing her experience at WKU and why it's important to choose this university for that special college experience. During her freshman year, Brittany served as the event planner for the Black Student Alliance. Later, she served as treasurer, then president. During her term as president, she established the My Black Is campaign that involved bringing together 15 different minority organizations to plan collaborative events. As a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha's sorority, Brittany's involvement with young people from diverse backgrounds included her event planning and volunteering at the Bowling Green Housing Authority to work with young girls. Finally, Brittany's selection as a Spirit Master was one of the crowning achievements of her college career here, during which she was an outstanding ambassador for WKU. Given her commitment to representing the highest ideals of a WKU student and her dedicated involvement in activities all across this campus promoting diversity and inclusion, Brittany Prather is a very deserving recipient of the 2013 President's Award for Diversity. Congratulations, Brittany. Okay, class will start Monday. Everybody ready to go? All right, thank you all very much. Let's have a fantastic year.